What is up, everybody? My name is SirEmCeeCoy, and welcome to the third and final part of the off-season. We're just going to wrap up a few things, and then we're going to get right into some practice. So the first thing is the Big 12 has changed. BYU is out. In my uneducatedness, I forgot that BYU is not in Texas. So instead, I added the University of Texas at El Paso. They had the best record of all the remaining Texas teams, so it's time for them to jump into the Big 12. Now, right here, I'm just very quickly going through red shirts, and it's not really anything that needs to be seen, so I just kind of sped that up, and that way you can somewhat be a part of that process. Next, here's our schedule: Bowling Green, Mid-Tennessee State, Houston, Nebraska, SMU, Kansas, Kansas State, Texas, Oklahoma, Baylor, Texas Tech, and we close out against the University of Texas at El Paso. Nice way to end the season. But we do have a lot of rivalries against both of our old coaches and Joe Jones at Houston. Next, it's time to change up our offensive and defensive playbook. We have new coaches. I figured this is an ideal time to do that. So we are now going to be running the pro-style offense. I feel like something that might suit Brad Little a little more. Now that Boykin is gone, I don't want to focus on such a heavy run. And then as the defense, we're going to go to the 4-3 multiple. That way we get all three of our outside linebackers involved, as I did mention earlier. I wanted to get all of them involved. So that's what we're doing here with that. The 4-3 multiple. Turn it more to a pro-style team. We'll see how that affects Season 4. So now we're going to take a look at some practice. We're starting out in split shotgun. We got Ty Slanina, Colby Listenby, Travoris Johnson, and Avery Davis in the backfield. And we're just going to see Brad Little roll out. A nice throw on the run to Charlie Reed. That was impressive. I want to see more of that out of Brad Little. So now he's going to drop back again in the split shotgun, rolling out, dumping underneath. Johnson makes the catch, but he doesn't get much out of it. Again, we're starting with this split shotgun. Little, back to pass. Pressure incoming, and he will avoid one, but then get brought down. That is Tevin Lawson. Good job by the defense there to get pressure. Now we're going to see Little again rolling out, stopping, throwing downfield where that should have been intercepted by Jackson. Now Little dropping back to pass, downfield, he finds, and Charlie Reed drops it. He got tackled by Jackson, and Charlie Reed just could not quite hold on. Little just a dump underneath to Avery Davis, who I learned pretty quickly that one overall jump in speed. Avery Davis got really fast. Lobbing it downfield, bad throw. Derek Kindred easily takes that interception. Now moving on a little bit, switching things up a little bit. We got three receivers, a tight end, and Travoris Johnson. Watch for this Cameron Eccles-Looper guy. Once he starts making catches, he is extremely impressive. But here's a nice throw downfield, and again, it's Charlie Reed. Brad Little's liking Charlie Reed so far. He's getting open, he's getting involved. Nice dump to Listenby, who just can't quite hold on. That was Paul Whitmill there. Now for the first time, we're going to see a run. Handoff, Travoris Johnson, and the defense swallows him up. And instant pressure in the face of Brad Little, but he's going to get that throw out, and Charlie Reed's just going to drop it. He's not the receiving tight end that we'd want. Brad Little, play action, rolling to avoid pressure, stopping downfield, finding Eccles-Looper, a nice spin move, and I'm excited to see Eccles-Looper play. He was probably the largest standout of this practice for me. Now we're going to see Travoris Johnson showing a little bit of speed to get to the outside. He can't make a move to get past the defender, but he did get out, so that's kind of nice. A nice pass to Slanina, who holds on. Kind of excited about this wide receiver core, honestly. Brad Little, he's going to look to escape, and he doesn't get much as Paul Whitmill flattens him. First down, we're going to see Travoris Johnson go up the middle, and he'll get a decent gain, about 5 or 6. Little now, back to pass. Lobbing it in one-on-one, and Slanina can't quite come up with the catch. Figured we'd test the defense out a little. Brad Little avoiding pressure, but that is Scott Brandt, and look at him chase down Brad Little. Scott Brandt. Holy hell, that kid's gotten fast. Brad Little now again trying to avoid pressure, and this time it's Bryson Henderson. Two of the fastest pass rushers on our team, and Brad Little just cannot escape them. Just a little dump to Eccles-Looper, who during the stream I was having a really tough time trying to say his name. I was saying Eccles-Loopers, I was saying it all, but I think I've just about got it. It is Eccles-Looper, and a dangerous pass there, probably should have been intercepted. Brad Little, we're going to see him back to pass again. Pressure's coming in. but he's going to use his speed to avoid it, and Brad Little, a beautiful throw on the run. My God, that was so impressive to Eccles Looper. Boykin could not do that. That was freaking amazing from Brad Little. His throw on the run is so impressive. He's going to stop, throw downfield. There's Eccles Looper again, wide open, up to midfield. Tries to spin, and Eccles Looper getting himself wide open. Brad Little sliding left now, and he's going to take off, not get much. And I will say this now, I don't show it at the end of the video. Eccles Looper is currently my slot receiver, but I do believe that I move him to the number 2 receiver slot and tie Slanina to the slot receiver spot. Changing up the package a little bit. Brad Little lobbing it deep. Caught by Colby Listenby near the goal line. Big throw from Brad Little. Listenby back to pass. Lobbing downfield, and Eccles Looper can't come up with that catch in traffic. Now we're just going to try quick curls. Out to Listenby. He'll make the catch. Good job. That's all you need to do. Little feeling the pressure. Trying to avoid it, but there's Scott Brandt again. And you cannot run away from Scott Brandt. He is too fast. Now we're going to set up this screen game, but this is a weird one. It's a play action screen, and the defense not at all even remotely fooled. They just destroy him. Brad Little now. Bootleg. He's going to take off. Nice spin move. Getting Scott Brandt with that one. I saw he's got a good spin. I wanted to test it. Brad Little can spin. Remember, he was an athlete when I scouted him, not a quarterback. And there's a nice crossbody throw to Loopers, but he can't make the catch in traffic. Little run and play action. Great protection this time. Lobbing it downfield where it's almost intercepted. I'm not really trying to play too seriously. I'm just trying to test the limits of some of our players. And there's a miss. The first one, and I think the only one in practice. Brad Little overthrowing a wide open Eccles Looper. I was disappointed to see that. Under pressure, he gets hit, and there's Jamal Schroeder making a big interception for the defense. Now we're going to see it again. Out to this flats for Johnson, and I just haven't seen his ability to break through tackles yet, which is what I'm looking for from Trevoris Johnson. And if I can't find that, I'm not going to want to see him start. And for now, we got Avery Davis in the backfield, testing what he can do. A nice throw to Charlie Reed just above the defender's head. Now, look at this speed. Avery Davis just flies off the offensive line. That blew me away when I first ran that play. It was almost hard to control his speed. Little running away from pressure, getting away from one, but then being sacked by Tim Henry. Our defense is looking like it's bringing a lot of pressure, which is what I like to see. Listenby going downfield, almost intercepted. That was intended for Listenby. That was Brad Little, though. Play action for Little. Again, the pressure's coming in quick, but he gets it out downfield to Colby Listenby. What a throw and what a catch. Good job by Listenby to outrun Marcus Bass. And now we're going to see Avery Davis, but the defense all over it. Marcus Bass was there waiting. Avery Davis now up the middle, and right there, brought down. Little dropping back to pass. The pressure is coming in again, and he gets the throw off on the run, but it'll be intercepted by Jamal Schroeder. That is the one dangerous thing about those throw on the runs. We have to make sure that if we're doing it, it's going to be perfect to the target. Trying to get loopers on that corner, but just didn't quite get it. Little now scrambling out to avoid pressure, spun to throw and just got ripped down to the ground. Handoff now to Avery Davis. He tries to weave his way through the defense. Not bad. Switching up the formation again. We'll see Brad Little dropping back to pass. Downfield. Caught by Ty Slanina. The defender missed. Great awareness by Slanina to still make that catch. Setting up the bubble screen now. Out to Eccles Looper. A big spin move by Eccles Looper to get away. That was impressive. Might have to throw more screens to him if he can do that. Kobe Listenby, a nice job on the hitch route. Little play action. Again, scrambling outside of the pocket. He had a man open, but instead he goes cross to Slanina. I realized that A was open. I believe that was Avery Davis. Little back to pass. Over the deep downfield, and he overthrows everyone. Showing off the arm strength a little bit is Brad Little. Again, going downfield, finding Colby Listenby. I've just been extremely impressed with the way that this team has been playing so far, just in practice, seeing some of the strengths and weaknesses. The defense is looking good, and I've noticed a lot of good things about the offense. Brad Little, he's more quarterback-ish, I guess, than Boykin. I'm not saying that's anything wrong with Boykin. Boykin was a great quarterback for the 3 years that we had him, but a lot of the times I felt almost more comfortable relying in Boykin's legs than I did his arm. You know, you'd see it plenty of times where you'd go for a deep route and he just did not quite have the arm strength to get, you know, even a 50-yard pass out. And, you know, if I want a quarterback, I gotta have someone who can throw. And so far I've noticed that a lot about Brad Little is that he has spectacular arm strength and the kid can still run. His throw on the runs, when he did that the first time, like, I was just pressing it to see what would happen. Me and Stiff Arm there from Listenby. But I was literally shocked when Brad Little made that throw on the run. That was one of the most impressive things I think I've seen yet. And there's another great spin from Echols Looper. This kid, and then the back juke. This kid is earning himself a starting spot with plays like that. But the one question mark that we have right now is the running back position. I mean, we have Avery Davis with, right now you see if he gets to the outside, Avery Davis is basically gone. He's got that burning speed once he gets to the outside. And I wanted Trevoris Johnson to be like a trucking bull through defenders kind of guy. That's what I've been trying to find for this team for quite a while. But he just has yet to become that guy for us, which, I don't know. It's going to be tough. The running back position is going to be a little bit of an identity crisis. So expect a lot of pass game this year. I think we're going to go like exact polar opposite of last year. I think we're going to become a passing team. We will run, but not quite as much. Don't expect another 18-game, 100-yard streak from any of our running backs, honestly. That was just a spectacular thing from BJ Catalan, but right now, I just don't feel like we have that true #1 running back. I feel like we're going to be having to do running back by committee a lot. We're mixing it up with Avery Davis, getting him more on like passing routes and outside runs, and then bringing Trevoris Johnson in like 3rd and shorts. You know, situations like that where we need to get tough yards, and I'm hoping Trevoris Johnson can fill that role. It's going to be interesting to see. You see I'm running a little bit of option, but the option doesn't dominate the pro-style playbook as it did when we ran the spread option. Yeah, imagine that. So it'll still be there, but don't expect the option to be, you know, almost once a drive thing as it most definitely was. It was, you know, multiple times a drive that you'd see it. So it'll be interesting. This is a year of change for sure. You know, brand new starters everywhere. I'm excited though. I really am. It's going to be very interesting with the new playbooks, with the new teams. You know, the offense is literally a brand new team minus, you know, well, Avery Davis had been there, but he had never truly been a starting running back. So it'll be interesting to see that. But all the new wide receivers, basically a whole new offensive line. This team, it's going to be interesting. They're either, I mean, obviously they're either going to do really great or they're going to, you know, not so much. But I have faith in this team. Just from the little bit I toyed around with them in practice, like, I didn't cut anything out. The amount of time in this video that is practice is as much time as I played practice. So I didn't really mess around with them a lot, but I messed around enough to see the players, see which ones I liked, see which ones I didn't. The standout for me was Echols Looper, except for that play right there. That's just a big hit from Schroeder. But his moves are the big thing that got me. Like, he made so many defenders miss in this video. It was extremely impressive. I feel like he's gonna be a heavy target for me. Plus the defense. I mean, I noticed Scott Brandt was getting in the backfield almost every time whenever he came on a blitz. I saw Bryson Henderson in the backfield a lot. A lot of the defense, which, you know, last year we were built off pressure, and thankfully we're doing that again this year, which is good. That's what I like to see. That's how we, you know, start our defense. Pressure creates turnovers, and that's always kind of been my thing when it comes to defense. If we can get pressure on the quarterback, force him to make stupid decisions, and when he makes stupid decisions, hopefully we capitalize and we turn those stupid decisions into interceptions. There's Brad Little with a nice move to the outside. Good run there from Brad Little. Again, I'm just trying to talk about the team a little bit. I'm not trying to, you know, blow up this entire video with me just commentating practice. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year, Season 4. The schedule, it's not as quite difficult as it was last year. Part of that is because, you know, we're not exactly quite the threat that I feel we were last year. Also, a lot of those teams I wanted to play because our old coaches are there. We got Kansas State, and then we also have Mid-Tennessee State. We have to play our old coaches. And Bowling Green was just kind of a random that I pulled. And plus Houston was a good random that I pulled. But also they happen to have Joe Jones, the wide receiver. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be starting there. But, you know, it's still a good pickup for our schedule. I think they're ranked. I believe they were like number 18 or 19. So, nice interception there from Jackson. But it'll be interesting. The schedule, and of course we always have our Big 12 opponents, which are never easy. Baylor's always a good threat. I don't even want to get started with Oklahoma and Texas, West Virginia. Teams that always tend to give us struggles, you know. There's some teams that we can play and we'll just blow them out of the water. SMU, you know, we never really have troubles with SMU. BJ Catalan had 2 games against SMU in his career where he ran for over like 260 yards. You know, I don't really think we're ever going to have to worry too much about teams like SMU. But, you know, Oklahoma, Texas, West Virginia, those are those teams that they always give us good, hard fighting battles. And then there's the wild card, UTEP. We don't know anything about Texas at El Paso. We literally have no clue, you know, what they bring to the table. We've never seen them. We've never heard of them. This is a brand new team for us. And I'm excited. You know, the Big 12 has been evolving just about every year that I've played this. You know, we brought in more teams, we brought it into a 2-division thing. Then eventually we did take out BYU because I did realize in my blind, ignorant stupidity that BYU is in Idaho, not Texas. I'm not really sure what was going through my head when I did that, but it happened. So, you know, there is that. And I did do my scouting after this, but I will tell you a little bit about the scouting class that I did pick up, which is another reason for me to be excited. Basically, whenever I make my starting scout board, I don't specifically go out and search for players. What I do is I sort for players that are interested in TCU. And there were at least 4 or 5 5-star prospects that had interest, and I think 2 or 3, we were their #1 team. So the success breeds more success. When you do good players want to come play for you. What a pass to Echols Looper, by the way. But when you do good players want to come to you. I mean, you look at the scouting class, not to say that it ended up badly, but we didn't have any 5-star prospects in our year 1 scouting class. And I think our first one we got was the one that we got this year, Andy Clark. So I believe Brad Little was I think Brad Little was a 4, but I mean, I'm very happy to see what Brad Little can do. But, you know, we've never had a true 5-star prospect come to our team. And now all of a sudden they're all over the place. And I understand filling needs. I've noticed a little bit with my recruiting. I've done a pretty poor job forecasting for the future in terms of the running back position. You know, if I was smart, I would have had a true #1 guy. I do have Avery Davis and all that, but the wide receiver position is pretty solid. But it's the cornerbacks right now that I just didn't really scout it properly enough. I should have been scouting those since year 1. And instead I just have a lot of like redshirt freshmen on the team that, you know, aren't quite ready to be starters. That's why Marcus Bass had to start last year as a true freshman, and now he's, you know, our sophomore, and he's our #1 wide receiver. So our secondary in terms of corner is definitely our weakest spot on the team, but there's Marcus Bass making a nice play. But I'm well aware of that. I know for a fact that it's our weak spot, so I know that that's something I do need to work on. But at the same time, now I have all these young developmental players, so I kind of don't. But regardless, I'm really excited for Season 4. I feel Season 4 is going to be a very good, competitive season, and it's got so many wild cards in it that we don't really know. Last year, you know, we knew that we were national title contenders. We didn't quite get there, but we knew what we were. This year, we don't really know what we are, and that's scary, but at the same time, it is super exciting. So this is the last play of practice, a nice pass downfield to Echols Looper, and that'll be it for the offseason. Look forward to Week 1 of Season 4 against Bowling Green University. My name is SirEmCeeCoy. Get hyped for Season 4 of TCU Horned Frogs Dynasty. Subscribe, like, and leave some comments. I'll see you in Season 4.